Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel CBS Soapdish Recap. And boy, I came across this spoiler for the week of May 16th for The Bold and the Beautiful. So, like I said, this is a spoiler alert. So, if you aren't into spoilers, please don't watch past this point. If you are, let's jump into this. But first, if you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash the like button and drop a comment down in the comment section below. So, according to what we have found out for this particular upcoming week, it seems like Brooke and Taylor both lose Ridge as he move in with Eric. So let me give you the details. So the spoilers reveal that Brooke learned the truth about her relapse. Okay. Ridge is going to be the one that tells her about all of this, that it was Sheila that was behind this whole thing, right? Now, even though Ridge, after learning that information, softened towards Brooke, he still won't come home. And Ridge also decides to distance himself from Taylor because of the fact that, you know, he don't know what he wants to do. Because even though Sheila did what she did, the fact remains is that Brooke made a choice after all of that to kiss Deacon. Deacon woke up in Ridge's bed the next morning, and even things that led to that whole point of Deacon hanging around, and Brooke not setting boundaries. And we can't forget the fact that Brooke also stood up for Deacon in that big bloody fight that happened at the room that Deacon was staying in at El Giardino's, right? So that's definitely still on his mind, right? However, being that he did decide to distance himself from both Taylor and Brooke, both of the women loses him because Ridge decides to move in with Eric. So it doesn't surprise me, because everything it's been a lot of craziness, with the whole thing when Sheila confronted Steffi. Steffi called Sheila a murderer. She recalled the whole memory. We watched all of that earlier this past week. Um, and then of course Sheila not only admitted to shooting Steffi, but also confessed to be the reason of the whole New Year's Eve wine bottle switch with the label. Of course, Ridge was horrified, but then we also got to remember that Sheila also told Steffi, Ridge, and Taylor that Thomas knew all about it. Now, of course, Sheila made it sound like Thomas was scheming with her from the beginning, but we all know that's not how that all unfolded. Now, we also would hear this week that, Ridge and Thomas will have that conversation, so we have to stay tuned for that. But yeah, of course, Sheila's with the confession, the arrest. He's going to need to verify that information. And Thomas will have to tell Ridge that Sheila was right about him knowing the truth. But back to these two ladies, I mean, at the end of the day, Ridge is going to be the one, like I said, that's going to tell her. Once Brooke finds out that it was all a setup by Sheila, she'll be relieved. And of course, now Brooke has the answers because she had a lot of questions that's been bugging her for the last 5 months about New Year's Eve. Brooke is going to try to convince Ridge to come home. And, Brooke knows that she got other issues that, they need to work out, especially with Deacon still coming around. But um, they are saying that Brig is going to beg Ridge to move back in so that they can work on their marriage. And Brooke is going to be distraught once again when Ridge says that he cannot move back in with her, and that, Ridge won't agree to reconcile right now. Ridge tells her that, he still has a lot to think about. And then, of course, he still got reconnection with Taylor on his mind, but yeah, he's still undecided. Um, but the fact that he decides to distance himself from both of the ladies and decide to move in with Eric and Quinn, that's going to be interesting. Now, in soap opera world, he won't be staying there forever. I mean, at some point, he got to make a decision, right? About this whole triangle. The question is, which women, which one of these ladies are going to win Ridge in the end? And I was not expecting them to go back down this whole rabbit hole once again. At first, we had them back together. She had the whole thing with Bill. Everything happened with Deacon. And then the next thing Ridge is now locking lips with Taylor. And now that the truth is out, he's torn because he didn't build the connection with Taylor since she came back to LA. But at the same time, he is still married to Brooke, you know? So, I mean, he has some decisions to make, but if you're not going to be with Brooke, you got a whole marriage to annul or divorce or whatever you're going to do. But I'm glad at least he's taken some time to step away from both of the ladies and leave that whole thing behind over there. He still got Deacon on the brain, and then he just go and stay with Eric and Quinn. Now I'm wondering because we know Eric got a little tete-a-tete going on, talking about and I'll put this in quotations, him and his pickleball activities, which we all know has nothing to do with pickleball. It has more to do with Donna, but that's a whole nother story. So I just wanted to check in with you guys before the week begins and share this information with you. I'm actually glad to see this happen, because this back and forth has to stop. For a moment when Steffi was in the hospital, I thought sure they were gonna go back to that whole thing between, you know, Steffi, Hope, and Liam, and I'm like, oh my God, not on that carousel once again, because we hadn't even finished up the whole carousel with Ridge, Taylor, and Brooke. So now that that part is over, more than likely, Jacqueline still has to have her baby. So Steffi probably will be off the screen pretty soon. Now we got to deal with this whole thing. And I'm glad Ridge stepped to the side and kind of want to figure this whole thing out. So we'll have to wait and see what Ridge will decide. So I wanted to share this spoiler alert with you for the week of May 16th on The Bold and the Beautiful. And you guys, we do a weekly recap on this channel. We have a podcast, but we also share it to YouTube as well. So stay tuned for that. We usually do that on Fridays and Saturdays for the previous week. And we have some good conversations. We have some popular opinions, we have some unpopular opinions. So subscribe, get the notification so you can be notified every time we post any videos on this channel. We also do creative promos and previews and everything. So until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.